YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here. Gonna bring you some Shogun 2 action. And tonight I decided that I would have a little fun, switch things up a little, and change Patchy to a bow general. And I'm about to show you the lessons that I learned with Patchy as a bow general. Now I'm not bringing you all the battles where I did this, I'm bringing you the one where I played against a good player here, which is RTK Twig. I've seen him on some videos before on other players' channels, I think on Zarip's channel, maybe Prussian Prince. And obviously, like I said, I've gotten to play against a couple of the RTK guys in the past, so I figured this would be a good test. Here's the problem, though. I'm not used to a bow gen at all. Skirmishing is really not my thing, because skirmishing's pretty micro-heavy, and I can micro certain types of armies, but what I'm trying here is an army that and it's my own take of, like, I didn't copy it from someone else. I just, I figured, hey, I'm going to put some groups together here. I've got a couple of matchlock spear groups. You can see them here. And then I've got a couple of spear sword groups, which like this long Yari with the sword. And then I've got this unit's here, which is a Nagi monk with a katana samurai. And then I think I got, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So overall, I've got like a few spear units, a few sword units, a couple matchlocks. I got my bow gen. I brought 4 Yari Cav. I couldn't find my Fire Cav for some reason. I guess maybe it was hurt. Or I say I brought 1 Monk Cav here, 1 level 2 Monk Cav. My Yari Cav are mostly level 3. So let's see what Twig brought. He brought a build that didn't surprise me based on what I've seen from his clan mates. He's got a couple Light Cav. He's got some Yari Cav. I want to say 2 of these guys, and it looks like attack defense upgrades. Here's a couple of his light cav here in the forest. I want to say he has at least 1 great guard, may have been 2. I'll have to watch for him here. His general is also a bow general, and you can see that he's doing much the same thing. He's got a couple of matchlock spear groups. The big difference is that he's going to be experienced at what he's doing, whereas this is the first time I've honestly ever tried this against another player. It is a very effective way to play the game if you can pull it off. You'll notice that most of the time I use armies that are all in one blob because it's easier for me to defend them, because I know for a fact that fast clicking is not my strength. I'm trying to work on it though, which is why I'm challenging myself and bringing an army like this, and you can see that I'm already pretty sloppy. Didn't deploy like I should have. I probably should have deployed this unit further out here to help support Cav on this flank, but I was thinking I was going to stick to this side of the map. But that's a bad idea, because obviously my opponent can start to wrap around me here. And of course he can advance on my matchlocks in the woods if he had to, and take fewer casualties. Overall, I don't think my idea was a bad one. I've got some meat shield, I've got some different groups, I've got some decent cav, I've got a little bit of skirmishing. Execution is the name of the game though, and we'll see how that goes. Now, the bow general fires easiest when he's on fire at will, and he will fire the best when he's in fire at will mode, meaning the mechanics just seem to work better, everything just seems to work better. I know I have it in slow motion, just give that a second. He's got the extended range, plus he's using the extended range ability, so this matchlock monk's got 150 range for a brief moment, and absolutely catches me off guard, and my matchlock samurai pay a bit of a price. He does a light cav charge. I decide to stand my ground with my matchlock samurai, thinking, I'm going to take this volley, see if I can get rid of this light cav unit. The problem with this is, and I do pretty successfully manage to micro my first little engagement here, other than the fact that I went too far forward. So I do manage to take out his light cav, and I don't think that was a cost-effective exchange for him. It wasn't. He only got 5 kills, but his matchlock got the kills that he needed there. So even though his light cav wasn't effective, his matchlocks were effective. I just went too far forward, wasn't paying attention there. And look, his his matchlocks are within range of my cav there. Even took a few shots at my cav. Extended range matchlocks are extremely common on the game today, and if you don't have any, like me, I suggest you go get some. And the best way to do that is to go play a game with a friend and just veteran farm. Basically go to the rice fields, have him bring a bunch of bow samurai. I was trying to get a quick charge on that cav there, and I did. It's relatively effective. But I'm going to withdraw because he's got spear support. Here in the center, my Nagi meat shield that was helping hold down this workshop gets routed. He's putting pressure on over here with me with the Yari Samurai. All I've got's a Nagi attendant, and he catches me with my matchlocks and everything out of formation. So I'm trying to run my matchlocks back, and I'll just use my Nagi attendant to meat shield like the intended purpose was, but I don't do it very well, and he's going to come continue to put pressure on me with these light cav. Let's see, here's his Great Guard, I believe. Yeah, he's got 2 units of them. Best way to kill Great Guard is with matchlocks. So over here I have a little bit more success. Route another one of his, looks like a Yari Cav, and I'm going to be able to finish off this Nagi Attendant. The problem is that in the center I'm not positioned well, and he starts to get some excellent charges on me here. He's pushing me here, and I don't have much of an answer. And if I move these units to answer, he's going to be able to move up his melee units in this vicinity and his matchlocks, and you can see that he does so instantly, which is a very good move on his part. My general is firing at units, but they're in the woods, so they're going to have some cover, so you can see I'm not getting very many kills. A bow general he's got to get the kills to help make it worth his while. And if he can't get those kills, it's not going to be worth it. Now here, this is a long Yari Ash. I don't have them in spear wall, plus you can see now his bow general is targeting them, so they're in bad shape. And I also have a hold firm on that, so that's an expensive unit that I turned my flank right into him and basically gave it to him. He's got a Great Guard coming here. I am going to try and countercharge it. I don't remember if I get the charge off or not. It was pretty last second. Yeah, it looks like I charged the very last second. His Great Guard probably could mop up both of my units here. He's going to reinforce, hit me in the back with the other Great Guard unit there. Excellent job on his part. I wasn't ready for that. I should have had that matchlock pulled back so that it could guard against this very type of thing, but I didn't. And now I've got to run off my general. Now I had some early success on this flank, but Twig is just killing me over here, just absolutely killing me. I'm not doing well, and at this point I'm kind of flustered because I'm like, I've got too much going on in different spots. So I think the thing that I need to learn about this type of army is that I need to practice with it, and I need to bring simpler versions of it. Maybe start off with 2 groups instead of 3 or 4, so that I can get used to moving a couple of groups at a time. You can easily move 2 groups at a time on these types of maps. Refine it a little, get a hold of some of the units that would help be me a little more competitive, like some 125 range matchlocks, be it Ashigaru, whatever it is. The thing is my build here was just kind of haphazard. It has some good things in it, and it's got some bad things in it. And there's just certain things about it that are good and certain that aren't. And the problem is, though, is that I'm not using it very effectively either. But it's best when you build an army to build it with a purpose. Like, for instance, you can see Twig's army is focused around cavalry supremacy, range supremacy, and a relatively strong infantry component with his swords, which I think he's now bringing in. And it's going to be cost-effective no-dachis. It looks like he's got rank 2 no-dachis. So basically he's going to save money on infantry to gain money on cavalry and range. And he's doing it pretty effectively. At least that's the way I see his army here. I'm going to try and get in here and get rid of some of these matchlocks. At this point, I'm just in really bad shape. He's going to be winning the fight pretty much all over the map. Like I said, I did a little better on this side earlier on, but I just don't have enough troops to keep reinforcing. You can also see that my troops have a lot lower morale because it's a bow general. And that's another thing I got to fight with. So if you're a player who makes mistakes, like I do a lot, and I did drop a war cry here, and I think I popped a bonsai here to keep my Nodachi in the fight, but it's really just too little too late. I do get a good charge off here with Patchy, and managed to wreck those Nodachis. They're pretty good, and I'm going to pull my general right out. As you can see, he's not really meant for that kind of thing. I just want to get enough hit on him that maybe when that bonsai goes away, they'll rout. But I've got Great Guard after me now, and I've got no units to defend me, and then look at that, Patchy routes too. Is chain route because my whole army was gone. Good game to Twig. I hope you all learned some lessons here, which is, I mean, I see so many people playing this game the same way in every battle, and even I do it a lot. You know, I bring like my 3 Nagi Corps, leadership general, all this different stuff. I haven't changed the way I play the game much, and the game has changed a lot in the time that I was away from it, basically not playing as much. These types of armies, like you see Twig field here, are very much commonplace today. Are they the best? I don't really know. I've seen all kinds of different armies work. I think a lot of it has to do with the map. That map is a map where a bow general could be successful. I've noticed, though, that like hilly maps, for instance, not very good for bow generals. And a lot of these players, if you'll notice, they actually switch their general a lot when they play in tournaments, depending on the map or depending on the player they're playing against. Obviously, each general has, you know, a benefit and a minus. I'm probably going to switch back over to leadership general for now, although I am going to keep trying to mess with some different types of armies. I really think that to become a better player, you've got to challenge yourself with situations where you're uncomfortable, and this is a situation where I was definitely uncomfortable. I'm playing against someone who's probably above my skill level here, and I was bringing an army that's not familiar to me. But you know what? It was a good learning experience, and I learned that I just can't control that many groups very effectively without coming to the battle with a little bit more effective plan. So you'll notice that I think Twig had a little bit more effective plan. He had his two groups, which were basically his matchlock Naginata attendant groups, and he handled them well. And then basically from there, he had his cavalry, and he knew the purpose of that cavalry. His light cav was for trying to get quick charges onto my unguarded missile units or onto my unguarded sword units. I didn't bring any unguarded sword units, so he didn't get that opportunity. But he was able to try and knock my matchlocks out. And although I was able to stop it, in that one instance, you know, light cavalry can be very effective that way. They can also be effective at running down a bow general and killing him. And then he had his great guard there for cavalry supremacy. So that means in the cav on cav fight, he feels comfortable. And then a couple of Yari cav, of course, for some extra speed. I think the extra range component of his matchlocks was probably his safety against someone bringing Dunderbuss or mounted gunners. Foot matchlocks are the most intuitive counter to those units. So as you can see, I think his army had a good plan. I think I had a lot of good units in my army. I hadn't really thought about the plan as much. So I'll mess around with it a little more. Hopefully I'll get to play some more games with these RTK guys and a lot of the other tournament players, because it makes you a better player to play these folks who give you a challenge. So I enjoyed the game. Hope you all enjoyed the little bit of advice here. I know it wasn't my best game ever. But, I mean, in general, even had I been playing with an army I was more comfortable with, it's very possible that I would have lost to Twig anyway. So good game to him. It was fun to play him. I was excited for it. And I'm always excited to get to play, players that I feel like give me a good challenge, and that was definitely one of them. So anyway, HeirofCarthage signing off for now. Hope you all enjoyed.